about, okay, so when you get stopped by the cop and you explain to him that you've been deceived, and I've seen you put footage up on the internet of you getting stopped by a cop and having a conversation with him, and he just lets you go, even though your license is suspended. So
no, in fact, in that instance, the most recent instance when I was pulled over, I did receive a summons. The officer himself passed me the summons. He folded it up very small and put it inside my ownership, which I did give him. I did create joinder by giving him a piece of paper that had my signature on it. So and then he passed that back to me and said I was charged for driving with a suspended license. But he passed the summons inside my drive, so I wasn't served really properly. But
stuck it inside.
He stuck it inside. He basically deceived me right there on the spot.
Yeah.
He just by.
Flipped it to you.
That's right. He didn't tell me that he was offering me a summons. He had folded it up very nice and neatly inside the actual my ownership, so I didn't even know it was there. But I still found the summons, and I proceeded to not drive. I didn't travel either from that point. I actually took it safe, and I got somebody else to drive my car, and I had somebody help me out until I came back home, and I was able to fix the license itself, which...
Well, hold that thought, Matt. We're going into a break, so...
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Jack Blood here, host of Deadline Live. I wanted to share with you...
Hear me, Sonia?
Yeah?
I just want to let you know, I was telling Karen earlier, you and Max and everybody are on the same line, so you guys can chat during the breaks as well.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Sonia.
Hey, little grasshopper.
I have Bridget here, too.
Bridget,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
Good, thanks.
Sweet.
Oh, are you coming to Montreal, Bridget?
As soon as I get there.
As soon as Max travels her there.
Yeah, fuck. I don't drive or travel. I don't have a license. I don't plan on getting one. I don't know
Fair
how.
enough.
How's Gunny?
He's good. You should come and see him sometime. He's gonna be 3 at the end of June.
Oh my god.
He's really cute. You know, still like he was. He just talks a lot more.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can't wait to see him.
Sweetheart.
I love that
He
kid.
hates when I'm on. But when I'm on the radio, if he's here, he flips out because he doesn't like when I'm not giving him my attention. Like he knows I'm doing something. He'll tell people who are in the apartment, "Don't bother mommy. Mommy's working."
Awesome.
You know. But then he can't take it after a while, and he comes and bugs me, and he does all kinds of things. Like the last time, he took chocolate off the desk, and then he chewed it up and spat it on the floor and threw himself on the ground, and like really trying to get my attention. Mommy, it's on the floor, and I'm like, you spat it on the floor, Gunner.
Just put it there.
Yeah, he put it there. And then he got upset.
That's called pressing your buttons. He knows what they are.
He's really smart. Yeah, he knows. He was watching one of my videos. I go, come and get it, lardass. And now he's going around calling Aaron lardass.
Oh.
Now watch what you say around him.
Lord.
You know what he did?
Poor Aaron.
Aaron calls him fat. Like he says it in a cue. He goes, "You're really fat, aren't you? You're so fat." So he says that, and Gunnar thinks it's a good thing to be fat. And I get on the phone with my friend, and I go, "You want to say hi to Lisa?" And Lisa happens to be overweight. He goes, I go, I put him on the speakerphone, and he goes, "Hi, Lisa," and she goes, "Hi, Gunnar," and then he goes, "She's really fat." Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm worried. Like she won't want to be friends with me. Where she probably thinks I'm talking about her behind her back. And I'm like, no, it's because of this thing that Aaron does. He calls him fat. She's like, yeah, sure,
Yeah, sure.
He doesn't even know who she is. So you know how embarrassing that was.
He'll apologize one day.
Yeah.
I used to call popcorn porn when I was a kid, and my mom would take me into the movie shop, and I'd be crying out for porn, "Mommy, mommy, please," because they had popcorn at the movie store.
They used to have porn at the movie store too.
Alrighty, we're fixing to come back.
Casper Leach on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 to 7 p.m. Central, only on AmericanFreedomRadio.com.
back to the TheTrutherGirls. So we got Sonia here and Karen. We're talking to Max Radico from Grasshopper Media. So Matt, before you were telling us about your experience with the police policy enforcers.
Yes.
Yeah, and I want to ask you something else, okay? Because I saw the video where you were like somewhere, you know, way out in the middle of nowhere. It was like Fargo type scenario, and this cop in this big, huge, tall beaver hat comes up to you and he goes, "You're acting really weird."
Yeah.
And then you remember that? And then you're like giving him the thing, and he's like,
This was in Vancouver, I think.
That was in Hope, BC, actually.
"Oh, really?"
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
I thought that was so funny. He's like, "You're acting really weird. What's this about?"
Yeah, they called in like 2 people for each one of us too.
Yeah, man. I don't know what he thought you guys were up to, but I mean, you act weird all the time, so you should have just told him like, "Oh, I'm always like that," you know.
Well, that's what I say to people. I'm Max Radico. Don't you know me?
Yeah. If I wasn't acting weird, then I'd be acting weird. So he let you go though, didn't he? Like you kind of truthed the cop. I thought that was a trip.
Well, yeah, up until all the other experiences I had, my license was not suspended. But this more recent time on February 8th in London, Ontario, which is a very popular place lately for learning about the law, I was given the summons by this officer, and I explained to him, I kept insinuating that he was a peace officer and not a policy enforcer, so I didn't really understand what we were going into and had a great time talking to him. In the end, he offered me a summons, and this summons is basically an invitation for me to go to court. I attended the summons on March 29th, just last week, and I'm going to be posting some videos on my YouTube channel and on grasshoppermedia.blogspot.com, and they dropped me from the docket. So now I'm doing an investigation to find out why this Constable Lacombe from London actually did not file his paperwork, and why he did not want me to go to this summons, to this basically a hearing, right? Which I was actually looking forward to going. Pardon me?
Is that like dropping the charges?
Basically, if he doesn't file his paperwork, then it doesn't go to trial. Why? Because we're all doing commerce here, right? And he didn't file basically the attempt to create a contract between me and the Crown. So I went to the actual meeting, and they dropped me from the list. So I'm doing my investigation. I've called the police and asked them why I was dropped from the list. They seem a little confused as to why he didn't also, because essentially this officer is now, in my opinion, he's doing fraud. I'm looking forward to investigating this further and perhaps finding out if he did commit fraud, in which case if he did so using my name. And also I was put out of quite a bit of cost because London, Ontario is far from Ottawa, and I'm from Ottawa. So I had to travel all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
You think the fraud was like when he slipped that thing into your what was it, the license or the paper that you gave him?
Well, I'm
You
not.
think that was like dishonest or? Give it to you.
Well, it is dishonest. That's very.
Just like Mark Savory was talking about when he was with you guys, you know, when all of these contracts, whether it be with Visa or whether it be for a fine or anything like that, it has to be, you know, properly given to you. It needs to be mutually consented by 2 parties. There's so much more. Mark is right online exactly with what's going on. You know, but you need to stay within your peace, right? That's what I'm about. I want to stay in peace. That's what these officers are. They are peace officers, and I